Hello and welcome to my 8th YouTube creative journal. I'm Rebecca Danger and I'm so glad you're here. I had a couple of weeks that were feeling kind of challenging, I have to say. And then this last week, I feel like maybe you saw a little bit. If you watched last week, I feel like I'm a little bit more back on track and working for a purpose or something. I don't know. Anyway, I feel better. So if you watched last week, I found a tiny in my studio, which is the small toys I used to make. And I was working on batching them. So see my little basket? It's full of tinies. So I got, squeaky chair, I got a dozen different ones finished over the weekend. I don't know that I love all of their faces. There's a couple faces, that one, that I might go back and redo, but we'll see. So there's a handful. I did kind of a unintentional rainbow colors. So cute. I love them, little purple ones. This fabric's really cool. It's called a watercolor and it's a woven, and the two different, see how they're almost like change colors depending on what, that's my hand more than the bears. There we go. Tiny bears. So, oh, there's two more. There's so many of them. There we go. So apparently I can't talk and share bears at the same time. The fabric is called a watercolor fabric and it's a woven, and it's like the warp and the weft are different colors, so it creates this cool kind of, not iridescent, but like it's a cool color. So this was the first one I made to test the pattern, like because I was rusty, and so I stuffed it a lot firmer than like how I used to. But these new ones I made a lot less. I don't, yeah, you can kind of see the difference. And I think I like it with less stuffing because you can actually like get them to sit, and you just, I think play wise, they move a little bit better than the really stuffed one that doesn't want to sit as much. I don't know if you can even see that on camera, but here I am sitting in a room by myself with a dozen small bears talking to a camera and talking to myself. So there we go. I'm excited for this week. I posted a couple shorts and reels of the bears and they've been doing well. And I pulled out all the dollhouse furniture I used to have. I mean, I still have it. What am I even saying? That I was collecting for the tinies, and started doing some little videos, and I sewed these dozen and I really enjoyed doing it. And yesterday was Mother's Day and it was really fun to be able to sit and work on these while spending time with the kids, because I didn't really have to think about it in the same way as some of the other projects I've been working on. I didn't need kind of the away time in the same way. So all that to say, I'm really enjoying these and I'm going to keep playing with them and see where they go this week. So my plan for today is, do you like that? The pause, brain stopped working. I'm going to sew a couple more of these tiny bears and then maybe a couple of the little bears, which were a little bit bigger. Like these are this big and the littles are maybe that big, right? So anyway, I will sew a couple up and then I can show you the difference in size instead. So I wanted to sew a few more. I did all these in these solids, but I think I'm gonna dig through the fabric today and pick some fabrics to like more colorful quilting cotton prints to sew some bears into. So I'm gonna do that. Woo! I feel like I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so tiny and little's bear sewing today. That's what we're going to make happen. So I'll take you with me. That should be fun to film. And yeah, I'm going to do that. And then if I have extra time, I'm going to start writing the pattern and taking photos for the pattern because I'm going to make a sewing pattern out of these. So very exciting. Big plans. Should be a good week. I feel better. So let's go sew. Hello, good morning. It is Tuesday, May 12th, and I got so overambitious crafting disorder. So first of all, I have to say I was watching yesterday's video. I like to watch yesterday's video before I start today's video so I can kind of see where I was at and if I forget things between the days, because it happens, let's be fair. Anyway, it was interesting how I could tell how slow my brain was working yesterday. It was like pulling teeth on the recording, but I was actually in a really good headspace, so I don't know. I feel a little bit more energetic and like the words are coming easier today. But so yesterday I said I was going to do some number of a couple more tinies at least, and then probably a couple littles so that you could see the size difference. And so I have some to play with for photography. And so first I got stuck and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what fabrics to pull out. So Mr. Danger was in here and he helped me pick some fabrics. So we picked 4. And then I was like, which fabric should I make into which size? And he's like, I don't know. And I was looking at it. And I was like, I'll just make one of each size in all 4 of these fabrics. So somehow my 4 bear making day turned into an 8 bear making day. Surprise, surprise with me apparently. But so those are all, I got them all sewn, which I have the video of, and sewn and cut out and turned, and I got them all stuffed, which I didn't do on camera. I did in the house last night. And then I got them closed, and then I got 2 of the 8 faces done. So I'll finish those up tonight while I'm in watching TV with Mr. Danger. But I did start thinking about the pattern yesterday and worked out, because I want to do the different sizes, but I was realizing in sewing the tinies, it's actually a really, really challenging sewing project because of the scale, because it's so little. You're literally sewing like 2 stitches and then you have to, I have a knee lift, or I lift the presser foot up and adjust. So 2 more stitches, lift it up and adjust. Like it takes me probably 5 to 6 minutes just to sew around the body. Like it's not quick. So I was trying to decide, because I also have some large darlings that are like, well, you can't tell that scale, but they're big enough that they're like huggable for kids. And then I also had some I was making that are kind of a medium size, that I was making out of recycled sweaters and stuff, which were really cute. And those are actually like good beginner sewing projects, whereas the tinies and the littles are actually a pretty challenging sewing project. So I was trying to decide what to do with that. But what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to put the tinies and littles as their own pattern, because they're kind of a different sewing experience than the bigger ones. And then I'll put the bigger ones in a bigger, different pattern. So anyway, all that to say, I definitely worked out some of the stuff I'd been thinking about, and I ran through again and I thought about what I was going to say on each step and all that. So that's what I'm going to do today. And then I'll finish up those other ones in the house tonight. And yeah, I have coffee with Tom this afternoon instead of Wednesday, which is my normal day. And we already went out and got groceries, restocked the pantry, since the children were like, someone needs to go to the grocery store soon. So this morning, and I got chai on the way out, which I don't normally, but I got a chai with oat milk. Did I mention that last week? I got that last Friday, I think. It was like the best drink I'd had ever. So I don't normally drink it, but here I am drinking it twice in a week. So anyway, I'll stop rambling and let's go. I don't know how I'll record and take photos, so I'll have to figure that out today, because I'll be taking photos for the pattern, but I'll figure it out. I'll take you with me, and even if I don't get much on camera, that's, what I'm working on, and I'll have a final result. So I'll take you with me and let's go get some sewing done. Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, May 13th. If you hear my printer going in the background, I didn't realize how noisy it was going to be. But I got the whole pattern written yesterday, so I'm going to do a sew through, edit, and take pictures this morning. So I'm planning to do. I Goodness gracious, printer. Maybe you can't even hear it. It's very loud in here. I left my sweatshirt at the coffee shop yesterday, so that was an excuse to run down and get coffee this morning. Um, yeah, I didn't get any photographs of anything or video yesterday because typing on the computer is boring. So, um, should be more fun today. And then I'm speaking at the local art group tomorrow. So once I get sewn through the pattern today, I'm gonna do a little slideshow and write up of my artistic career. So that'll be interesting. I don't know, it's interesting. It's hitting at an interesting time. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for today. And yeah, it's printing and I'm gonna sew it and I'll take you with me. Hello, good morning. It is May 14th, Thursday. I got my pattern all written. I got all the photos taken. A friend of mine's going to do the layout on it because she's an amazing graphic designer, which I'm very excited about. And so I got that all sent to her. I already talked to her this morning. And yes, I have this artistic journey talk tonight I'm doing at our local art group. And not last night to this morning, but the night before till yesterday morning, I had stress dreams about public speaking all night. Like they were all in a stairwell, and then I was like leaning over a little window to talk to everybody in the stairwell, and then the railings like falling off, and then they moved up, and so I moved, but then the railing was like falling behind me, and then like, you know, classic public speaking stress dreams. And then this morning I woke up at 5:30 and went, oh no, I'm going to cancel, but I'm not. So I'm working on building the slideshow for that today. And I have some cards I made myself so I can stay on track. So we're going to be gentle today, just work on that. And yeah, so I'm trying to snap a couple photos through the day, but otherwise I'll check again tomorrow. So let's go get over our public speaking, fear of public speaking today. I'll take you with me, or I might just see you again tomorrow. We'll see. Hello, good morning. It is Friday, May 15th. I don't know why I keep saying it's April, but it's not, it's May. So I made it through the tug last night. It actually went very well. I got very positive feedback. Several tiny bears found new homes, which was really delightful. And yeah, I am going to record. I decided since I have it already in the slideshow slideshow all ready to go in my notes, that I'm just going to go ahead and record it, and I'll post it as a YouTube video here in the next week, because you might like to hear my whole story because it starts at 5. So, you know, spoiler alert, it is interesting going over your history and like putting it all together and kind of laying it out. Like you're living it, right? So you know what's happening, but I think when you summarize it and you bring it all together kind of into almost a story, because that's all we're doing. We're all storytellers, right? Um, we don't necessarily get to decide what happens in our story, but we get to respond to what happens in our stories. So, yeah, it's really giving me a different perspective on everything I've done. And I think one of the biggest parts of it is I'm not currently making a full-time income as a working artist. And I think I have several times over the past, and then life has happened and it's changed, and it's so interesting. I'm just so caught on this thought about how only an artist that makes their full income is a real artist. It's not true. I don't know where it comes from for me, but it's such a pervasive thought, and I really feel like it can kill creativity, and it's not a great thought. So anyway, here I am talking to you about it, and I think that's important. So yeah, interesting to put it in perspective. And then I think I told you I got that bear pattern written, and I've brought these tinies back out, and it's feeling really good to play in the world again. And just a very interesting point in my life. So yeah, and interesting that that came up. And yeah, a little bit of drama with some of the stuff I posted online has come up, and it's reminding me parts of why I pulled away from being online in the past. Anyway, that's kind of cryptic, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so it's Friday. I'm going to record that. Shouldn't take too long. Hopefully you'll find it interesting. Hopefully, it'll help you keep going too if you're struggling with creativity. And I don't know what I'm going to do today. Maybe film a couple more little tiny bears videos. Do you hear that? Apparently I'm excited. I'm sorry, I'm singing. My kids don't like it when I sing, but I sing all the time. So yes, now I'm just getting silly. Friday, happy Friday. We're watching Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy tonight for movie night. And I don't know, I'm in a good mood. I feel a little peopled out. There was a lot of peopling. There weren't even that many people there, but I guess I'm very sensitive. So a true introvert at heart, which is why I'm sitting here by myself talking to a computer. So thanks for listening to my crazy ramblings. And yeah, maybe we'll get some bears made. I put that picture in of those couple red and white ones I got made on Wednesday, but I didn't really do anything but work on the slideshow yesterday. So, which you can see in the other video. All right, stop talking, Rebecca. I don't know what I was going to say. Okay, I'll close. You know it. Instagram, Rebecca Danger. I'm here. RebeccaDanger.com has a /meet the darlings page that you can sign up for my darlings announcements, because I have decided, yeah, that's good to say. I have back and confident again. I'm going to do a drop of tiny bears online coming up soon. I haven't decided when yet, but I'm going to make that happen. So if you're interested in adopting a tiny bear, that would make me feel wonderful. The bears would feel wonderful too. And you can sign up for emails on RebeccaDanger.com /meet the darlings, or I think there's a link on the homepage. There's links on there if you go on there. So yeah, my Art is My Voice podcast, that's up. I think we just posted episode 8, so we're recording episode 9 tomorrow, so 9 of them in. And yeah, I hope you get time to be creative. I'd love to hear what you're making. Leave me a comment, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week, and go make something.